Hello students, today in this video let us see the cell organelle plastids. So plastids, where can we see these plastids? We can see these plastids in plants and in some algae. So when you are taking the characteristic features of these plastids, they are double-walled membrane. Then they may be colored or colorless. Again, it is helpful in the preparation and storage of food materials. Now coming to the types of plastids. So when you are taking the plastids, it is classified into three types. One is chloroplast. Chloroplast. Next, chromoplast. Chromoplast and leucoplast. So plastids, they are classified into three types. One is chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. So chloroplast, they are the green plastids. They are the green plastids. So they contain the green pigment, that's chlorophyll, which is involved in photosynthesis. So here the function of this chloroplast is photosynthesis. The function is photosynthesis. Next, chromoplast, they are the colored plastids. Colored plastids. So here they may be red, then orange, yellow, likewise. So they are the colored plastids, and here they are giving color to the fruits and flowers. Fruits and flowers. Again, this chromoplast, they are attracting the other organism for pollination. So when you are taking this chromoplast, they are the colored plastids like red, orange, yellow. Then they are giving, what's the function? They are giving color to the fruits and flowers. And also it is attracting the other organisms for pollination. Now leucoplast. So leucoplast, they are the colorless plastids. They are the colorless plastids. And the function is storage of food materials. The function is storage of food materials. So when you are taking the plastids, it's of three types. They are chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. Now let us see this chloroplast in detail. The chloroplasts are the green pigments which contain chlorophyll and is involved in photosynthesis. Now when you are taking the structure of the chloroplast, they are oval-shaped organelles. The chloroplast, they are oval-shaped organelles. It is bounded by double-walled membrane. It is bounded by double-walled membrane. So this is the outer membrane. Outer membrane, and this is the inner membrane, and in between this outer membrane and inner membrane there is intermembrane space. Intermembrane space. Now inner to the inner membrane there is matrix. Inner to the inner membrane there is matrix. That's a jelly-like substance which is called as stroma. That is said to be stroma. So this is stroma. Stroma. Now in the stroma there are circular DNA. In the stroma there is circular DNA. And this ribosomes, they are present here and there. The ribosomes are present. Then the starch granules, lipid granules are found here and there. So here there is circular DNA, then there are ribosomes, and these ribosomes, they are of 70S ribosomes. Then there is starch granules, so inner to the inner membrane there is a jelly-like substance that is called as stroma. In the stroma there is circular DNA, then there are ribosomes. The nature of the ribosome is 70S, then there are starch granules, lipid granules. They are seen in the stroma. And again, in the stroma, there are disc-shaped structure called thylakoid. The disc-shaped structure called thylakoid are present in the stroma. So here, when you are taking the thylakoid, they are disc-shaped structure. And inner to the thylakoid, there is a space. That space is called lumen. Lumen is covered by a membrane. It is covered by a membrane. When you are taking this thylakoid, inside there is a gap or space that is called as lumen, which is surrounded by a membrane. That membrane, it is having the photosynthetic pigment called chlorophyll, which is involved in photosynthesis. And this chlorophyll, it is giving green color to the plants. And here in the stroma, there are many thylakoids. They are arranged in like a pile of coins, and they are said to be grana. And now this grana, they are interconnected to each other. The grana, they are interconnected by means of Fred canals. They are interconnected by means of Fred canals. Now coming to the functions of this chloroplast. So when you are taking the functions of the chloroplast, we know what's the main function of this chloroplast? Photosynthesis. The main function is photosynthesis. Then it is helpful for the storage of lipids and starch. So it's involved in the synthesis of fatty substance. And again, it helps in the formation of chloroplast. So here this chloroplast itself is involved in the formation of chloroplast. So these are the functions of chloroplast. So when you are taking the functions of chloroplast, it is involved in photosynthesis. Then it stores the lipids and starch. Again, it is helpful in the synthesis of fatty acids. Again, it helps in the formation of chloroplast. Now let us see photosynthesis. So I hope you might have studied this in your lower class. So photo means what? Light. Photo means light. Synthesis means to build. So photosynthesis, photo means light and synthesis means to build. So photosynthesis is a process by which the green plants, they prepare their own food with the help of the raw materials, carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. So these are the raw materials for photosynthesis. So what are the raw materials for photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. So here this carbon dioxide, we are getting this carbon dioxide from air, and this water from the soil, and sunlight from the sun, and chlorophyll from the plants. So photosynthesis means what? The green plants, they prepare their own food materials with the help of carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. Here oxygen is evolved as a byproduct. So here we can see the equation for photosynthesis. So when you are taking the equation for photosynthesis, the carbon dioxide combines with water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. In the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, so carbon dioxide combines with water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll and is giving out the food, that is the glucose. Anyhow we can say glucose, carbohydrate and food, and also water and oxygen is evolved. So see here, this is the overall equation for photosynthesis. This is the overall equation for photosynthesis. This is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide combines with water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, and we are getting the food C6H12O6, and this oxygen is evolved. So here this oxygen is a byproduct and is evolved. The next is photosynthetic pigments. Photosynthetic pigments. From the heading, we are coming to know that the pigments which are involved in photosynthesis are called photosynthetic pigments. The pigments which are involved in photosynthesis, they are called as photosynthetic pigments. This photosynthetic pigments, it's of two classes. It's formed of two classes. So one is primary pigments and accessory pigments. So photosynthetic pigments is formed of primary pigments and accessory pigments. So primary pigments, example, chlorophyll A. Chlorophyll A. This accessory pigments, example, chlorophyll B, carotenoids, xanthophylls. So primary pigments, the example is chlorophyll A. Accessory pigments, example, chlorophyll B, carotenoids, xanthophylls. And here this chlorophyll A of primary pigments, it traps the solar energy and it converts into electrical and chemical energy. So it is called as reaction center. So the chlorophyll A of primary pigment, it traps the solar energy and convert into electrical and chemical energy. That is called as reaction center. Coming to this accessory pigments. So here this accessory pigments, accessory means they are the helping pigments. So here the chlorophyll B, this accessory pigments, they trap the solar energy, but it cannot convert that into electrical or chemical energy. Instead, it has to pass to chlorophyll A. So it is said to be harvesting center. So it is said to be harvesting center. Now, the reaction center and harvesting center together is said to be photosystem. Photosystems. So see here, the reaction center plus harvesting center, it gives photosystems. They are said to be photosystems. So the role of sunlight in photosynthesis. Role of sunlight in photosynthesis. So based on the role of sunlight, the chloroplast, that is classified into two reactions, light reaction and dark reaction. So based on the role of sunlight, the chloroplasts, they are classified into light reaction and dark reaction. So light reaction, it is also called as Hill reaction. Hill reaction. That is, it was first discovered by Robin Hill. Robin Hill reaction is also said to be Hill reaction from the name of the discoverer Robin Hill. This dark reaction, it's also called as Calvin cycle. Calvin cycle, because it was first discovered by Melvin Calvin. Melvin Calvin. Now in this light reaction, from the name, what we are coming to know, the reaction, it is taking place in the presence of light. Okay, the reaction is taking place in the presence of light in the thylakoid region. So here it is taking place in the thylakoid region. So do you remember this thylakoid? So when you are taking the chloroplast, when you are taking the structure of the chloroplast, so there is the membrane, inside there is stroma, and here there are thylakoids. So here this light reaction is taking place in the thylakoid. It is in the form of ATP and NADPH2. NADPH2. So ATP and NADPH2. So ATP means adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. And NADPH2, nicotinamide, adenine dinucleotide phosphate. So here in the light reaction, by the end we are getting ATP and NADPH2. Now from this thylakoid, this ATP and NADPH2, it enters into the stroma. So coming to this dark reaction, it takes place in the stroma. So dark reaction, from the name what you are coming to know, the reaction that is taking place in the absence of light. So the reaction that takes place in the absence of light in the stroma. So the reaction is taking place in the stroma. So here this carbon dioxide, it is reduced to carbohydrates. The carbon dioxide, it is reduced to carbohydrates in the presence of ATP and NADPH2, which we have got from light reaction. The factors affecting photosynthesis. So when you are taking the factors, there are external factors as well as internal factors. So the internal factors are pigments, leaf age, accumulation of carbohydrates, hormones. So all this must be in correct proportion. When you are taking this leaf age, it should not be very young and it should not be matured. So all that must be in correct proportion. Then external factors. So when you are taking the external factors, they are temperature, water, mineral, etc. So all these are the external factors and all this must be in correct proportion. Then only the photosynthesis will be taking place smoothly. I hope you all have understood, and here you study this light reaction and dark reaction thoroughly.